We're going to start to the bottom left-hand side with our blue Zerg from PSISTORM Gaming. It is true, he didn't actually make an appearance, I believe, in the last PSISTORM matchup. Is that true? No pun intended. I'm pretty sure he didn't actually make an appearance. It was Jehefe, Jon Snow, and Warren who all dropped maps to Tesla. Why is Tesla playing again? I'm so confused. That's weird. But then it was Gumiho who came out with the all-kill. Well, let's see what happens here as True comes out as the first player now from PSISTORM Gaming. And so you're just going to see that hatchery thrown down on the natural and getting set up and ready to go. So getting set up in towards this as we do see this probe just scouting around. Tesla having a little bit of a look to see what is going on here in these early stages. I'm really confused why Tesla's playing, actually. Because Tesla... Yeah, that's really weird. Like, he played for the academy, so he shouldn't actually be on their pro roster. So something's fucked up somewhere. Well, either way, this matchup obviously already happened a little while ago. We're casting from replays here today. So there's not much I'm going to do about it right now. We'll try and figure it out at a later point or so. But it's pretty weird. That's actually very weird. Alright, well, let's see how this game goes anyways. Let's focus on the actual StarCraft 2 games. As we're going to be seeing some workers mining away and just going to be seeing Tesla getting set up to go. Stargate getting thrown down already as this Overlord coming across towards the upper right-hand side to see what will happen. Alright, so getting set up into this, is going to see the probe just being chrono boosted out. A depth starts to shade across the map as well. Looking to see what's going to happen. And I'm just going to be seeing the Stargate going to be finishing in a few moments' time as well. So, set up into this game number 1 of this best 7 all-kill series here in our qualifying match now for the main Team League event. Let's see what happens. As we're going to be seeing, obviously, True, his first time playing for Season 8. Let's see if he can pull out a victory. As we're just going to see again for now that Adept shading around a little bit here and there. I'm just going to see that Oracle continue to come out, another Adept popping. Probe on the way out too. And we just set up nicely into this for now. Queen going to be popping in a moment or so as well. Link speed still on the way up also, as we do see the third hatchery of True does get dropped down over in this location. So third hatch getting dropped into play. Let's see how it continues from there. As we see there's Adept coming through the center. Tesla going to be kind of keeping up the pressure, keeping up the damage, as we're going to see that Oracle is about to finish up. Two Adept shading on forwards right away here, and we will see one creep tumor already being picked off. Well, he actually cancels it, so he keeps the creep tumor active, which is nicely done here by True so far, whose Evo Chamber is about to finish, so +1 melee early in this game to play a Ling Bane sort of style in these early stages. Let's see what he can do with it, as we're going to be seeing the Overlord coming in, just going to scout through into the natural and in towards the main. As we're going to see this Phoenix going to be popping out and start to hunt that Overlord down as well. So Overlord going to get chased here in just a moment or two. There's again that +1 melee coming through, a couple of drones going down as Adepts have made their way into the third base, but they're picking up some Zerglings as well, but I feel as though they'll go down before too much else is done. I don't even think they're going to get to shade away, so I mean, a few workers killed is not bad, right? The Oracle was kind of the culprit for that as well. I mean, it's okay, but if he took a lot of damage on the Oracle, the Adepts go down. It's a pretty good defense overall here from True, as he does come across the map to see what he can do. Just going to see those Lings working their way through this Nexus, which will be cancelled to True already on the counterattack with those initial Lings, and Tesla just kind of losing map control here. And it's kind of getting punished for it, as we're going to be seeing those Lings having a pretty good time. True slightly supply blocked due to the fact that he kind of had a Phoenix, so this Phoenix just came out and picked off an Overlord. As we are going to see that Nexus dropping down as well, so Nexus being thrown on down, some more Zerglings on the way up, and melee upgrade, as we mentioned before, coming through. Though no sign of anything else just yet, no Baneling Nest even, no Lair, so just pure Zergling at the moment from True. I mean, True does play some weird styles, but I'd be surprised if he played just pure Ling for the entirety of the game, as a Robo Bay comes up, a Twilight Council and a Forge as well, setting up into this here, as there is that lair, and now the Baneling Nest coming down for True as well. So that's continuing to get set up, as we're going to be seeing those Lings continue to move around as well. A few Adepts here just sitting in this little bit of a gap as a few more of those Zerglings starting to go down. And a lot more of these Zerglings starting to come out onto the map as well. You can see the stasis ward comes up over on this left hand side, and we are going to be seeing again Creep just pushing up through the middle of the map here in the next few moments as those couple of Adepts continue to shade over here. A lot of Adepts on the third Nexus. This time it will probably not go down, but True sees that. You should just be looking to back away. As Bane Nest now about to finish, he'll be in time to start up Centrifugal Hooks basically right away whenever he wants to. And he's going to get ready for that as we see this Phoenix still just hunting for Overlords, but somehow hasn't found this one that's just in such a normal location anyways. Straight into Colossus play then as Extended Thermal Lance starts on up, charges on the way out as well. We're going to be seeing that +1 attack upgrade from Tesla continue to move through too, as we're going to see the Temple Archives also being placed. And this Phoenix from Tesla continue to move around as well. Phoenix still just looking to see what's going to happen. More Lings up to the top side as +2 melee starts. I mean, now the lair is finished, obviously already putting it to use for the +2 melee, but you'd think Centrifugal Hooks would be a big important thing for him to focus on. And there's that start, but still no Hydralisk Den, right? I mean, still not the Hydras you'd expect to see. I mean, maybe we see a Spire here because it is Robo-Bane Colossus, but that's something which True doesn't even know about just yet. So he's just playing pure Ling Bane still for the moment. As we're going to see some Overlords just still hanging out overhead. I'm just going to be seeing the 5 extra gates going to be finishing in the near future. This Roach Rowan starts up in the main. And now going to see again just an Oracle tagging this third hatchery with the Revelation. It's broken pretty nicely so far. Bane Speed is going to be finishing in a few moments time. 14 more drones on the way as we're going to be seeing this fourth hatchery about to finish as well. And we're just going to be seeing the well, Overseer as well, taking some hits from this Phoenix. So some more damage being done as we're just going to see that Overseer continue to be picked away at, and it will go down. Overseer gets popped, and a couple of Colossi just moving forwards, trying to do a little bit more damage themselves as another Archon comes in, and just going to be seeing those Zerglings again positioned over to the right side. Apologies. Sneezing and they can't stop. Well, Lings do arrive and they're going to start picking off some workers and actually getting quite a bit of damage done. Another Zealot going to go down as well. 4 workers killed so far, so we're going to be seeing these units starting to work their way through those rocks. So opening up the rocks and gaining access down towards this bottom left hand side, as we're going to see the Lings still getting to work where they can. And still doing a little bit more damage. 6 workers killed already. It's not a ton of damage here, as we're going to be seeing this army of Tesla comes across, and True going to have to find a way to fight this. In the end, he's actually still mostly on Ling Bane. He's getting some Roaches to finish up now. The Banes initially connect pretty well, and oh my god, the back set of units there just gets demolished by that set of Banelings. I mean, the Colossus is still doing okay, but especially with Queen starting to come forward to target the Prism, and especially with, oh no, the Colossus goes down in the War Prism. Also with the Roaches coming through as well, it was a bit of a sturdier follow-up, and True looks as though he's just completely stomped out the fire that Tesla had going in this one. And well, now what does Tesla do? He just lost everything and didn't even kill a hatchery. And as we see True immediately on the counter-attack, comes in over here. I don't know if he actually really wants to fight those Zealots without the rest of the army showing up, but either way, I mean, it's going to go pretty well. We're going to see a stasis ward goes off on nothing, apparently. I'm not even sure. Anyways, the Roaches arrive, and obviously then those Zealots are not going to have a great time with the Roaches being here, and that's going to be one of the major issues. We see Zealots just dropping very, very quickly. So lots of Zealots going down, more Lings continue to stream on forwards, and this is going to be pretty much it. It's going to be seeing those Zealots continue to get picked away at, one after the other. And that is more or less that. As we're going to be seeing another Baneling rolls forwards, and we're going to see these last couple of Zealots going to be continuing to drop. Roaches still moving through, and again another couple of Stalkers getting picked off here as we see Roaches still chasing down that Colossus, trying to grab it at the very end here. There's another 10 workers, 11 workers, 12 going down. Looks as though this is pretty much going to be over. 17 workers, 18. It just keeps on increasing. It just doesn't seem to end. 25, 8. It just keeps going. GG's, and True does take game 1. To the top left-hand side, our Red Zerg player from PSISTORM Gaming. Let's see what's going to happen from True. putting the team 1-0 up in this important best of 7. As we have to the bottom right hand side, the yellow Zerg player from Sloth Esports Club, game time. Game 2 of the series as we get this rolling. Looking to see what's happening in the early stages of game number 2. And how's everyone doing out there in the chat? Thank you so much for joining me today. Some quiet streams at the moment. I know I've been away for a couple of weeks, but something I think that always surprises me when I come back is that the viewership just disappears. I can't even remember the last time I did a stream of 200 viewers. I'm like, what? So I'm a little bit like concerned. I'm like, is it okay? But I think just a lot of people in general are streaming today, so it's okay. We'll get through it. Again, lots of content coming up in the next couple of weeks. Should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to bringing you guys all of that sort of stuff, as we're going to be seeing the overlords just crossing the map here early, a couple of drones on the way out as well, and just setting up into this here to get going as we just set this up and see what's going to happen. So Overlord moving across towards the bottom right. Again, hatchery on the way up from both players. We see the third hatch coming down here from game time as well. So he's already setting up in towards that. And as we do see the Overlord on the way up in the main base. So that's coming through here. That spawn pool's about to finish in a moment or so. Again, just getting this ready to roll. And free hatches coming up here at the moment. Overlord's just crossing the map early on. I'm looking to see what else can happen in a few moments' time. Nice slow startup. Backward, obviously a larger map, obviously allows for these kind of slower startup games and plays just a macro. Things such as skipping link speed is going to be very popular on this map, and just going straight into the wall off of kind of like Evo Chamber, Roach Roaring. It's very viable because you get the free bases, and it's so awesome because you get the free bases where usually you wouldn't have free bases, right? Usually you do that off 2 bases, and you have to take a delayed third. So, yeah, we'll see. Just going to see that link speed. Not going to be bypassed here from actually both players as well. Like, True is also not going for it, even though he took gas. So he's going to take a faster third hatch, but he'll have a much faster +1 missile upgrade in the next few moments. That should be starting up, unless he goes Carapace, which is what I was about to say next. I just couldn't quite get in there fast enough. But unless he goes Carapace and then starts link speed, that could be a way to play as well in a large map like this. Although I'm a little bit worried because those lings running around are only going to have one access point, and that's through this front door, which means if he can't get through there, those lings are not necessarily going to get too much done. So it's an interesting setup on either side. As you're going to see these couple of queens moving out and looking to see what's good. Roachron going to be coming up in a moment or so, and just going to be seen. Actually, another Evo Chamber for now, but again, the Roachron shouldn't be too far off as a Balin that starts from True as well. Definitely going to stick towards this ling-focused playstyle for just a little bit here. So send up in towards that again. Some lava just popping. Roachron going to be starting up as well. So you're just going to see that ling just moving around a little bit, and just going to be seeing another ling on this watchtower. Again, just setting up in towards this. Here's more and more drones on the way up. Ling speed +1 Carapace, and just looking to see what will happen. True starting to move onto the map once again. Just moving, continuing in that direction. A couple of queens continue to target down that Overlord, which does get picked off there. So that Overlord gets picked off, and that's going to be seen again. Queens continuing to inject. +1 missile attack upgrade on the way up on this Evolution Chamber. Still a Carapace though from True, and again, it's 2 very different styles here. But True does throw down a Roach Roar, so you might go for kind of like a Roach-based follow-up, which will still leave him behind on the +1 missile. So it is in general just an interesting ZVZ, despite not a lot maybe happening out on the map so far. it still is getting very interesting just in terms of how the players are setting up so differently. As well, some Bane's going to finish here, and they're going to start moving towards the mineral line. And this is actually going to have to be some micro. Oh, nicely done there by Game Time, although now he is still going to get some of these Banes in towards the drones, and he's obviously looking for the best connection he can get. He feels as though it's up there. Oh, I feel as though he might have missed his opportunity. Another Queen over here is going to limit what he can get done, so it's just going to be 3 of those drones in the end. Those Banelings finally finding themselves the attack which they need, the explosion which detonates and picks off a bunch of those workers. Are going to be seeing +1 missile attack here from True starting up as well. As you see, +1 Carapace is on the way from Game Time, so that armor upgrade obviously going to make things a little bit tankier. The +1 missile attack makes his units a little bit stronger, and True just a little bit behind on the +1 missile attack right now compared to the +1 missiles of Game Time. And that's going to be one of the major differences, because missiles in Roach versus Roach is generally a much more important upgrade than Carapace upgrades, because the missiles gets an extra bonus attack rather than the Carapace, which just gets the extra single armor. So it's a little bit interesting and weird how it works out in general, as you are going to be seeing so many more Roaches currently on the way up here. We have these players with pretty decent worker count as well, straight up to 70 with how passive this game has been. And now the 4th bases are starting to be established as well, as they hit pretty much full saturation across all 3 of their initial bases here. Just 1 or 2 drones oversaturated at the moment, as we're going to see this Queen just going to jump on top of this Overseer. I mean, actually, True is on perfect saturation. 22 workers a base, and he's got 3 bases ready at the moment. So 66 workers works wonderfully. As we are going to see that Overseer goes down. And we are going to have this +2 missile attack upgrade starting up on this Evo chamber as well. So that starts up, as we're going to see these few more Ravagers on the way, a few more Roaches as well, and more Roaches on the way out from True on the top left-hand side of things as well. More of these Overlords are just gathering up together still. And again, Roaches and Ravagers just joining themselves up to maybe get ready to go across the map once again here, as an Overseer still under some fire. These Queens continuing to fight against that Overseer and pushing it around, as True just trying to pick up information. You know, just get some confirmation. Are you still playing Roaches? Are you switching into Hydras? Are you going for Mutalisk switch? Information like that's going to be very critical here, because True needs to make sure he knows about it ahead of time, otherwise he'll run into issues. Overseer goes all the way down to the south side, as we see more Roach Ravager pushing in towards the center. And you're going to be seeing the Burrow coming through. Tunnel and Claws as well, Pneumataz Carapace. And there's a lot more Roaches continue to come up also, as we see Game Time continuing towards the upper left-hand side, and starting to split up his units just a little bit here to try and get something else done. We're going to see the Ravagers actually going to throw down some battles, and they actually connect quite nicely. But True has a decent setup as well. Right now the upgrades are even, so neither player has an upgrade advantage there. And without that upgrade advantage, it's difficult to really push into positions and be the aggressor, because True just has shorter reinforcement distance. He has the initial concaves. Game Time, I think, will struggle to really get much done here as True. So actually going to step forwards into those corrosive battles, but Game Time just sits in them. And so both players are losing quite a lot here right away. True lost a couple of Ravagers very early on. More corrosive bars. This time he dodges away from them. A nice split away. And it looks as though True will start to hunt down the rest of those units as Roaches and Ravagers continue to fall. Continue to chase this down. Another Ravager gets picked off. Another Roach as well. And these Roaches of True continue to just push on forwards, as Game Time in the center of the map forces those Roaches away once again. Game Time continue to come through into the center here and working his way currently through this set of rocks in the middle of the map. These Roaches of True still just burrowing underneath and seeing what they can get done next. Starting to come up over on the other side as more of these Roaches coming across here. Game Time continue to get set up and ready to go, as we're going to be seeing a couple of Queens. I mean, they're just so unaware of this attack happening, right? He just doesn't have an Overseer or anything, and now he pops up, and that's a Roach roaring that's going to get taken down. I mean, Game Time's across the map. He might just want to go for this, you know, just straight up go in towards the attack, but he's got a lot of Roaches. He might be able to win that out. He's going to take a lot of damage at home, though, so you better hope he gets some damage done himself. As here we go, well, this big fight starts up. Let's zoom in a little bit, because the Overlords are kind of blocking us in terms of our vision overhead, as we're going to be seeing those Roaches of Game Time continue to push on through, and they are going to be able to continue picking away a whole bunch more of those Roaches. A lot being done, but Game Time in general is down supply. A lot more units coming out here from True, who is behind on an upgrade at the moment, but he's killed 50 workers almost across the map already. Not sure what he's going to do about that spawning pool. Oh my god, did Game Time not realize he lost the Roach Warren? He didn't, and so the Roach Warren still hasn't been rebuilt, so now he has to build Zerglings. They're not going to do anything here, and True takes game number 2 just like that. GG and well played. True puts PSISTORM game number 3 of PSISTORM Gaming against Sloth Esports Club. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? How are we feeling? Let's see what's going to happen. As True is in the bottom left-hand side from PSISTORM. Raze is in the top right from Sloth. And let us know who you're cheering on in the chat as well. We'd love to hear who you guys are supporting here today. Let me know what's up and let me know how you guys are doing. Are you a PSISTORM fan? Are you a Sloth fan? Let us know. This is our second of 3 best of 7s today. Coming up after this, we will have more action for you coming in from Sloth Esports, formerly known as Prophecy Esports. They're going to be taking on Team Revolution, and Sloth have one hell of a lineup. We're talking Raynor, we're talking Special. They have a lot of great players, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. It should be really great, and that is coming up a little bit later on today as our final series of today's Team League action. And yeah, it's the final day of preseason. After this, we are into the main event. We're into the main tournament. And that's just going to be so very exciting in itself. So, looking forward for that as we get this set up and ready to go right now. Game 3 of this best of 7 is on its way. Alright, so let's see what happens. Reaper on the way, going across the map, looking to see what's going on in these early stages. The next Clan War Games is happening today too. Yes, we have 3 best of 7s for you guys today. We've already done one. This is our second, a third one coming up after this as well. And just lots of action basically coming up this week. We've got so many StarCraft games coming. We've got the WardiTV Team League and Map Contest Tournament coming up as well. Should be pretty awesome in general, so looking forward to all of that, as you will see this Reaper poking away, prodding away, and just trying to deal a little bit of damage here in these early stages. Reaper actually backs off here just a little bit, as we're going to be seeing that link speed is on its way up. True. Yeah, it's set and ready to go. It does feel these colors a little bit different than usual. I feel as though my screen's kind of bright. Anyways, and you just see here on Eastwatch, of course, it's an interesting map as well. A bit of a longer map in general in terms of just the fact it's very difficult to end games on this one with all the choke points. And we generally see games on this map going up to the kind of the 10-15 minute mark at least before finding an end. So definitely in for maybe a bit of a longer game here so far. The builds would suggest that that could happen too. You know, nothing super aggressive on the way. There's not like 20 roaches about a build from True. You know, Raze maybe going for some Hellbat attack in the near future. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. But it's not like a pull the boys, let's go all in sort of thing. You know, it's just a very standard pressure-based opening. In these early stages, we do see that Reaper moving out in towards the center, as we do see a couple of Hellions. They're going to join up in the center of the map here as well in the very near future. Starport lands on a tech lab. I'm going to see the Barracks building another tech lab. Just going to be a Viking initially. See if Raze does want to go into Cloak Banshees at some stage. A second tech lab already suggests to me that he just wants to start up a fairly quick stim, in which case he might not make Banshees at all. Maybe a Viking and a Liberator, or maybe like a Viking and a Fake Cloak. I guess he could still make a Banshee just for defensive purposes. I'd be interested if he really committed into it, though. He does start up Cloak to make it look as though he's going to make Banshees. Those are true. Seeing this, of course, he'll probably have to make a couple of Spores. He goes into a +1 Carapace upgrade early once again, although his second Evo Chamber is not far behind at the moment. That's going to be finishing shortly, and of course then the melee upgrade could be coming up as well. And that's Simpack on the way up on the Tech Lab. Factory lifts off of the reactor and going to move up just a little bit further there. There's the third CC on its way down. And as the third CC comes up, we're just going to see, meanwhile, on the other side of the map, True starts the melee upgrade as well. In the end, it was just this Stimpack starting. The Tech Lab, not really actually being used for Cloak Banshees, goes into that Liberator, like we mentioned, as a possibility, just to get some harassment onto the map, as the Viking will be looking for more Overlord kills, just looking to clean things up. And to stop True from getting too much information, although True didn't seem too interested, he's actually not got enough Overlord on the map. The furthest Overlord he has out is probably this one here, which is literally in his natural still. So there isn't really much of an option, or much of a chance for this Viking to get too much more done here so far. Viking keeps on just moving around for the moment as that lair coming on up, and just going to be seen at the same time these Hellions and a Reaper coming in towards the left-hand side. Just going to be continuing to target their way through that, and that hatchery is going to be dropping The drone gets picked off as well, so a nice little attack initially, although the Liberator gets intercepted immediately. Already taking a couple of hits, definitely doesn't help things out in the long run. And they're going to see those Hellions continue to move forwards, and Ling's just going to move in too. And that Liberator going to siege up and see what it can get up to. You're going to see again Hellions picking off a few more Lings, and you can see that 4th hatch is just setting up as well. A couple of Queens is going to continue working their way through that Lib, and it is going to go down in a moment or so. So Lib gets picked off, and just going to see again those Lings coming around, and just going to try and do a little bit more, although those Hellions are well positioned, so those Lings are not having a great time. Finally, they get a bit of a better surround. At the end of this, 6 workers, 8 workers killed, and, you know, some lost mining time on the natural still. I mean, it was pretty decent here overall from True, as we are going to see +1 attack and +1 armor upgrades still coming through on the engineering base. I'm just going to be seeing more of these SCVs. We'll be getting ready to jump onto that refinery. Looks like the 3rd base going to come down over here, where if the fact he built it all the way over there, I guess it's not much space to build over here, but I kind of thought maybe he takes the gold base. Not easy for a Terran player to hold the gold base on this map, because it's a little bit further out than this base just right there. You can see that True's obviously going up to the gold for his 4th, so we'll see if that's something he's actually able to hold on to over time, as we do see +1/+1, combat shields on the way. That Bane Nest is coming up to being about halfway done, and again, Creep just pushing out onto the map as well, just pushing all the way in towards the center. Some more SCVs going to get to work. So he's going to take the gold base in the end. Looks as though what probably happened was he lifted the CC and rallied it to the gold, and then because it was still hotkeyed, he probably re-hotkeyed his CCs down over here, so it actually started to move over there. And when I say re-hotkeyed, he rallied his CCs down here for the SCVs to come out to the natural, but then I also sent that base over there as well. So a little bit of a shame so far. Is going to be seeing those Marines continue to move across the map here, continue to actually get into position where maybe they could be aggressive once again. So it looks as though Raze just wants to keep up the attacks throughout these early stages, as we do see a Queen currently working its way through this Viking, and that Viking taking a few hits in the process. We're going to see a scan coming down, some more of these Crypt Tumors starting to be cleaned up. Lings are going to try and jump on this army, and will maybe kind of get us around and force a bit of a lift up. Whoa, the tanks drop on top of the Banelings. That's actually not a bad setup there, but there's just so many Lings in general. This is pretty much a cleanup here. That was interesting. I mean, one of the tanks went down, but he killed off all the Banes. An interesting little scenario. Killed a little bit of micro. As we're going to see in the end, Raze has actually still found himself with the confidence to keep on pressing forwards, if only to clean up a few more Creep Tumors. They probably back away from this now and actually kind of re-establish an army, you know, build up once again. And we're going to see a lot more Lings and Banes still on the way out. 2-2 upgrades. Going to be finishing shortly. That Baneling speed is just a few seconds away too. Infestation Pit on the way up, as you're going to be seeing 2-2 upgrades from Raze. Continue to come in as well right now. A Viking coming down towards the bottom right hand side. I'm going to see what it can get up to, as again 30 more Zerglings currently on the way up. +2 melee just about to finish here. He's already got +2 carapace. Kind of True, so far ahead on his upgrades. Terran player obviously forgot about his 2-2 for a little while, slowing things down just a little bit, as we're going to be seeing these medevacs coming all the way down to the south side. So these 2 medevacs are going to get ready to unload in the near future. As you're going to see again, Creep just starting to spread out further onto the map here at the moment. A few more Banes on the way up, more Lings gathering together as well on that ramp, and we're just going to be seeing again the Creep continuing to set up, see what else is happening. I'm just still seeing some more Creep Tumors continue to push forwards as well. Another medevac loads up here for Raze, going all the way along this top side. This medevac, though, from Raze is actually not full of units. It's it's like the biggest fake ever. Like, look at me. In fairness, there was a long time actually in TVZ when it was like a 2-1-1 era, where there was a point where some players would send out their first 2 medevacs empty to kind of distract the Zerg and to pull them in one direction while the Marines went somewhere else. It's kind of a sick move. And it's something you see now and then, like an empty medevac being sent out, although obviously this one's a mistake because it's meant to be full alongside this one. Or he was only meant to fill up 1, but then he sent 2 anyways. Either way, a little bit of a mistake there from Raze. We're going to see him lifting up, and he'll just get out of there right away. Good defense by Tree, quick to respond, doesn't really let Raze set up into too strong of a position. As we see Liberators on the way out, he prepares for what is already becoming the late game here in this TVZ. True is on Hive Tech, Viper's on the way up to help with those siege tank counts. He's getting his 3rd set of upgrades and adrenal glands. Meanwhile, a Ghost Academy from Raze drops down, so he really is setting up into that late game kind of Ghost Liberator style, which we've seen Terran players have so much success with in the last couple of weeks, especially at some of these larger offline events. Ghost Liberator has been what a lot of players have kind of turned to make things work out for them. As you're going to see Marines grabbing themselves just a single Lings grabbing themselves a single marine there so far. A couple of tanks sieging up, and True will just back away from that instantly. He's got a lot of Lings out in the center here as he goes into grooved spines. He's been getting them towards the Hydras as well. I mean, he's not actually got any Hydras right now. 166 Lings on the map and 36 Banes with a lone Viper. It's still pretty much pure Ling Bane from True at a stage where he'd actually kind of probably like to be throwing down. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't have an Ultra Cavern. Otherwise he could have started Kindness playing, but you'd imagine that at least something like Hydras would be needed here to help him fight in these later stages. But let's see what he can do. He's setting up a bit of a run back to this top side. Once he breaks down those depots, access to that gold base is going to be plentiful, and obviously that goes very well for him as, well, that Liberator is going to siege up and not really be able to achieve much at all. So that gold base will be in trouble as this army continues to move out. Not many units though, as those Lings get into work, and now some reinforcements coming in to deal with this. The Lings will jump onto them and trade where they can, but too many Marines and it gets shut down pretty quickly. Meanwhile, those medevacs had to load up, it's True, trying to work his way through those rocks, but the siege tank here is getting quite a lot of damage done. These Marines even going to start to unload as, well, the Banes obviously become a bit more of an issue. Will load up and unload once again. The Banes actually come in for a decent connection in the end still, and somehow, despite all of this, True has made his way through in towards this base. He's made his way through those rocks, and he's actually going to get the siege tank kill. Adrenal Glands makes those Lings just so powerful, attacking so quickly. 2 engineering bays going to come up here as well, as you're going to see the free upgrades from Rays continue coming as well. Come more Ghosts, a couple of Liberators still overhead, and more of these units going to keep on setting up here from True. As you're going to see those Lings continue to run on in to do a little bit more. Rays lifts up and backs away up to this top side once again. Just going to be seeing a few more Marines and medevacs getting set up. As going to be seeing Ling and Bane going to move out onto the map once more. Just continue to set up into this here as we're going to be seeing again a Liberated tank getting ready to roll. Going to be seeing the units keep on pressing forwards, and that's going to be seeing them rolling in. Actually going to be grabbing themselves a few of these Marines. Ling's getting themselves the last couple of kills and just going to get themselves, well, all of those siege tanks. Meanwhile, more Marines coming through the center, and suddenly these Ghosts are in a lot of trouble, and right now they don't have the ability to cloak up, so that's a bit of an issue. The Ghosts going down. Medevac saved 2 of them, but I mean, True is literally doing this with pure Ling Bane. Finally he's reinforced with Hydras, but just sheer Ling Bane and just number of units has done it for now as he breaks through this position, and that CC goes down, and True puts PSISTORM this one up. To the top left-hand side, it is our blue Zerg player from PSISTORM Gaming. Give it up if you're cheering on True. He's going up against the pink Zerg player to the bottom right-hand side of the map from Sloth Esports Club. It is BioIce. So game number 4 then, can BioIce turn this one around for Sloth, or are we going to be seeing True just able to shut this one down and to clinch his first all kill of Season 8? The first of what could be many, of course. We will find out in the very near future as we begin to get this set up and ready to go. Do let us know who you're cheering for out in the chat. You have Princess Sturmagant in the chat cheering on True at the moment. All kill incoming as well, says Mosasaur. I've got all these colours in my chat that are really difficult to read from a distance. Ay. Let me know what's up. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let me know what's happening as we do see this extractor just dropping down in the main base. The spawning pool going to drop down as well. And just another drone currently on its way out. A couple of drones on the way out. Going to be jumping into this extractor in the next few moments. Hatch gas pool apiece though is obviously the opening, and that does just allow us to get into this position where both will mirror each other in these early stages, and so we're kind of just watching for the point where do these builds diversify, where do the differences start to come on through, at what stage of this do we see something just very different happening compared to just kind of, again, mirroring each other for the moment. Natural hatcheries continue to come on up as well. So that's going to be finishing here as this overload just continues to come in towards the upper left side, and looking for some information here just early on. Just getting itself getting set up there to find out what's happening. Actually going to back away a little bit though. Something we saw Scarlet doing a lot recently in CVZ is always with the first 2 queens, pushing out a little bit onto the map and kind of just hunting around for that kind of overlord pick-off early. So keeping these overlords back at a distance, able to kind of keep on moving away Just makes your life a little bit easier in that regard. And that's very useful a lot of the time. So, it's going to be seen still this few Zerglings on the way up. Hatchery on the way from both players too. And I think speed is, again, continuing on along. Baneling Nest is on its way up as well in this natural, with the third hatchery also coming up. So still both players are mirroring each other here. Baneling Nest on either side, third hatch on either side. And very small differences here or there. An extra queens on the way up from True, for example. That's something which BioIce doesn't have. BioIce a bit of a faster overload there. So again, very minor differences in the general, though. They're both heading in towards a similar setup to try and play this game out. So we're having this Baneling Nest about to finish up, and we are going to see more of these Zerglings of True going to be coming along over to the left-hand side. So they're going to be coming over here in a moment or so. A few of those Banes morphing in. Both players actually cutting at 26 workers to start making the Ling Bane setup here. As we see a lot more Zerglings of BioIce starting to come up through the top side of the map to try and get something done as well. So a lot of these coming up to the top side, as you are going to see another overlord just moving out forwards. And while these Lings are about to arrive and start running in here, they're going to start going for a little bit of a surround to get some damage done. I mean, the Queen up on this high ground in a little bit of trouble as well. Is going to be seeing another couple of Lings getting picked away at. That Queen does fall. Banes continue to go off, and actually good defense of True. Does a lot with his Banelings. Very good connections, trading 2 for 4 there at one point. And right now, he seems to have enough to take down this third hatchery, so that's a big difference between the players. True is losing some drones. He's got 5 workers killed off, but he picks off the third hatch. It's very similar damage in a way as, oh no, BioIce loses 4 workers as well. Well, that's going to be huge. But he still has Lings across the map, which are continuing to do a little bit more here. Those Queens are just about surviving. 7 workers killed to the 4. True is slowly being cleaned up on this side. I mean, he's kind of winning this fight for now, but extra reinforcements should do the job. He has a lot more Lings actually still ready to run in. 19 to 22 workers here at the moment. As we're going to see 2 more Banes just morphing in from True on the left-hand side. And those extra Zerglings continue to get to work. True continue to work his way through this. So there's extra Zerglings going down right now, as we're going to be seeing a few more of those Lings getting picked away at. Just BioIce sitting out in front of the natural expansion. As those drones did pull away from the main base there for just a moment or so. True having to continue to defend. 5 minutes in, all said and done, and True is 22 workers to 22, but he still has the hatchery advantage. That's 300 minerals that at some point BioIce has to find and spend on a hatchery, and not on Zerglings or drones, and that's where the issue will come. He also loses a queen right now. He's actually on 0 queens against 2. So just straight up here, obviously, this is going to mean that BioIce is just in a lot of trouble, right? Because he can't inject, he's got to rebuild queens, he's got to rebuild a hatchery. All of this is going to be very expensive for him, as True already has all of this set up. He already has all of that in play. Some extra Banelings just going to start morphing in. 10 of them on the way up at the moment, as more Zerglings of True going to come down the left-hand side, and they're going to see what they can do as well in the next few moments. Some extra Banes here in the center. That's a lot of units from BioIce. He's going completely all in with this right now. It's True, but he's going to start diving for the natural expansion. He's going to start running up this base as well. Oh, there's one Bane that's about to finish. If True's not paying attention, it's going to be a huge shutdown, and that's where True loses a lot of his Zerglings as Banes continue to move on forwards. BioIce here is getting towards the ramp. A couple of transfusions are being traded out. He still has a lot of Banelings. I mean, what do you actually do with them, though, at this point? Do you actually use them? I mean, you can't use them on the hatchery. That just isn't worthwhile. Meanwhile, there's still some Zerglings of True over here. Somehow, despite that massive Baneling connection we saw, we're going to see finally some Lings coming into position. We're going to see Banes trading out once again. Good split from BioIce to minimize the damage, but now the Queen target fires down those last couple of Banes. And BioIce is beginning to run out of steam, as we're going to be seeing. Well, the Lings in the main base will do just a little bit more here for a little while longer. More Lings still trying to come on in, but there's still a couple of Lings off in the corner, which are going to get picked off as well, and they do go down. More of these Zerglings of BioIce going to move out onto the map, and just going to be seen to the top side here, and more of these things going to nibble away at that third hatchery. And still the Banelings of True waddling on in as well. And they're going to try and be part of this fight as well. So coming in here, doesn't quite find anything just yet, though. Still holding the lead, 5 worker advantage, still has the hatchery available to him. True is looking good, as BioIce is just going to continue streaming Lings across the map. Can't really blame him. This was quite a nice morphin, by the way. Soaks up 2 Banes for just getting a damaged cocoon. That's completely fine. There's going to be seeing those Banes again looking to try and come in and fight against those Zerglings. We are going to be seeing 2 of those Lings getting picked off. Another 2 Lings going to jump on that Bane and will get the kill. So little pickoffs here at the moment as we see more Zerglings though going to stream into this natural expansion. And again, BioIce just does not really have a defense set up for this right now, as we are going to see Lings being chased away. And again, True very nicely here just makes his way straight through in towards the main, where, I mean, at the very least he's pulling his opponent's units back, and if they're not across the map, True is still holding the lead. And so True just trades out as well. I mean, again, maybe he isn't the best trade in the world, but it's good enough, as we're going to see those couple of Banes will get shut down by the Queen. But it's still longer with which True has to just build up more and more units, and we're just going to be seeing the extra Lings again down the left. And this onslaught of Ling aggression just doesn't seem to end. There's no defensive units left at home here. BioIce sees it again, so he turns back around once more. And we're just going to be seeing the Lingers come to fight this out. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to be very... even if this kind of, if these Lings go down for True, he still just has so much more once again. Continue to move through the middle of the map and just continues to look fantastic, as we're going to see those Zerglings coming in as well. A couple of Baneling connections do start to go off here, and again, there's just Banelings of True as well, though. It's not like BioIce is the only one with Banes. Let's see a couple of Banes for a couple of Banes there, as we see now still, though, True pushes forwards and, well, just wants to try and dodge Banes as long as he can, try and minimize the damage dealt. One Bane for a Bane could go off, and he's actually just going to maybe look for a cancel. Either way, it's going to be even more drones, and, well, we're watching a very slow death here of BioIce. True got ahead on some of these earlier trades, and from there, it has just been his game throughout. There's not been a lot that BioIce has been able to do to even start looking as though he might get back into this game. And at this point now, it is going to be game called. And that is True, picking up the all-kill, the 4-0 for PSISTORM Gaming to advance over Sloth Esports Club into the main